Hi friends, I have shared my ugly kitchen with you before, but today it's going to be a kitchen tour and I'm also sharing some really fun air fryer recipes. So before I start, I'm Alina Ghost and I do daily mum shorts. I also do 2 long form videos a week for you guys, so do hit that subscribe button if you want to see more. And also if you like this video, please do give me a thumbs up. Yes, I know I'm talking about all the ugly things. It's not aesthetically pleasing. I do not have an oven and I'll talk more about that in a second, but we are planning to do an extension next year, hopefully, and basically it's been, what, 2.5 years that we've been in this new property and it has been worth it. Don't get me wrong, we've come to many struggles in this kitchen, especially as a family. So I have a 4-year-old and also a dog, as well as my partner obviously, but when we're all here inside together, there's not enough space, it's not very comfortable, and as I said before, there's no oven. So basically, let me give you a tour first, talk you through all the bits and to show you all the ugliness of this kitchen. So I have done a house tour before, so you will see the layout. If you wanted to go have a look, I'll make sure to link that down below. But the first thing that you see is actually the fridge freezer, and we've just about managed to put that in. Ideally we would have liked that in here, however, because we didn't think we could open the door really, especially like the freezer door down there, so we basically just opted for this middle of the room monstrosity. We also have a mini freezer down there, a bin as well. The mini freezer is mostly for the dog stuff, so we don't go to it often. We've made like a coffee machine section there for our coffees. And then as you can see, there's some lovely pipe work not right in the corner there, which we hope to basically reconfigure once the extension is done. But basically this is falling apart. It's not great in the sense that, look, the tile is missing behind here. We even tried to put it back on, but it kept falling down, so we just like don't bother anymore. We've had tons and tons of leaks. So this is probably a kitchen from like the 60s, if not before that. The house is nearly 100 years old, guys, so I wouldn't be surprised if this kitchen is like original to when they first had that, like created this house. But yeah, basically the drawers are falling apart, and what I don't like the most is not only does this not shut, but also there's very sharp and dangerous corners here. So what I usually do is actually put like a towel over here and just like try and cover that up so that if my son does go into it, it like cushions it basically. I basically had to fashion a sort of door and curtain here as well. Lovely pegs here that I've used, but basically this was very much a DIY job for all my cleaning bits. I'm not happy about the fact that it's just so like easy to get the cleaning things. So if I had a child that was a lot younger, I'd definitely be worried about that, because it's like grabbing distance, isn't it? So easy to grab. But yeah, this is unfortunately falling apart. However, the previous owner did keep it very clean. The other thing is I started to take off the wallpapers here and just make it a little bit more nice by taking down the ugly pink curtains that were there as well. I've added basically some plants, so spider plant and some other memorabilia bits. We've got the obligatory fridge magnets and also my son's artwork from like preschool and things that he does. This is from Valentine's Day. These two are from like Easter, which is super cute. As you can see, some photos and more personalizations over here, but I do change these up quite a lot. We make the most of the tall ceiling space. So we've actually put some cereals, tissues and like kitchen roll up there as well, like storage. But something that I can't argue or moan about is the fact that there are very tall cupboards, so I can actually fit quite a lot of things in here. And as you can see, we've made some use of the things that she already had in there. So it's like the cup holders and like the drawer, not the drawer, the shelf sizes. We've all kept that as well. Like obviously I've cleaned it many times since then, but yeah, we use that as like a pantry up there. So I do think that that's lots of space and I am happy with that. They do open up strangely, so up here it's fine because these two open up, but down here there's only this one that opens up, then this one's the same. Like, I'll show you. There you go. So it's like the other side that opens up rather than these two. So basically they are not coordinated. However, still plenty of space, got loads of things in here, from glasses, cups, mugs, you know, that kind of stuff. More coffee. We've got the sweet treats over here so that my son doesn't reach for them too much, because that's mostly the crisps and the chocolates. He's got the more healthier things down here at his reach, basically. So we've got some pots and pans here and more for, like, you know, cooking, and got some potatoes over here, some trays, oven trays. I've kept all these things, so it's been over a year we've not had an oven, but I've still kept those things in the hopes that we do get an oven one day with the extension. So basically this is the section around where the oven used to go. So the oven, we had like a mini oven. We didn't even have a proper oven. The mini oven was here as a temporary solution, knowing that we are going to change this kitchen up completely. But we basically didn't want to sacrifice on the dishwasher or the washing machine in here, and didn't therefore want to put in any electrics or gas, depending on the cooker that we wanted, because not knowing the space. And also we didn't want to buy a cooker knowing that we're going to need a new one for the extension, and we didn't know the designs or anything back then. So basically we did opt for a Ninja, and this is a multi-purpose one. This is not just an air fryer, but it does lots of different options, and I very much recommend it. Basically without this I don't know what would be eating. Obviously we've got the air fryer multi-purpose one, but we've also got like the slow cooker and like the rice cooker as well, which is pretty cool and handy. But yeah, I've got the washing machine here, which is pretty old as well, but actually doing really well. I did a review about this like 7-8 years ago, and it's actually still doing me well. So if anybody's interested in that, I'll also link that down below. We've got a new boiler that went in, I want to say 2 years ago, which is blooming amazing. Okay, and this is like the kettle tea section that we've got here, and the reason it's here, it used to be where the coffee machine is. However, we thought it's a lot easier to get to and a lot nicer over here. We've got some fruit, obviously alcohol, and some mugs here as well. And we've got a really lovely section here for our pots and pans that we currently don't use. As you can see, it's all like chipped and undone and unfinished, because like even the electrics are just showing, you know. We are not bothering to do anything knowing that we've got big plans ahead. Oh, one thing I did want to say is I love my friend's fridge magnets, but this dishwasher is actually supposed to be a built-in one, so this is in the hopes of, so we bought a bigger one once our other one broke, in the hopes of actually having this one in the new extension and actually putting the cupboard, like the new cupboards on top of it. So looking forward to that. So let me take you through the plan. So in terms of actually like extensions and designs, that's already been like thought of, like the architect has created some plans for us, and the planning permission has come through. So yay, we can definitely start and go ahead with it. There are a few minor changes that I want to do as well, but I don't think, they said it doesn't matter basically. So we did get a quote so far, which was an unrealistic one and one we're not going with. I'm hoping to get some a couple of more quotes until I probably decide on doing it or project managing it myself, so that we can do a few DIY bits ourselves as well and basically save some money, because we're not doing this via loan, we're doing this with basically saved money, so like savings. So we have been waiting a few years to save, as you can imagine. That is why it's taking such a long time, but we're happy to do it this way rather than, you know, like remortgage or anything. So basically the plan is, where this section is, you know, we call this the gin cupboard because at one point there was loads and loads of gin that was up here, but basically this cupboard space is probably going to turn into a WC, and it's going to come out, so where you can see the dishwasher is, it's going to come out, and it's going to probably end where the window is. We are extending, and therefore the kitchen will be on the other side of that wall, so where the window is there will be a wall, and that will make like a small room, but it's going to be not only a WC but like a WC / utility room. So I'm very much hopeful that there's going to be plenty of space. We're going to stick a sink in there. We're going to hide this boiler as well, not move it because it's fine. And there is actually a little window right back there which is currently blocked off. So excuse this fly, get away. But it's currently blocked off, and we plan to reopen it and see whether we can buy a new window. In terms of the space to the outside, I do think the door is going to go, but I can't make up my mind whether to keep a smaller window up here. So there's currently a window here. It's going to be a smaller one, and I might make it quite like high, tall, just so that there's a little bit of natural light in this room for the utility section for the washing machine. I'm hoping to get a tumble dryer as well, so that'll be awesome, and loads of cupboard space because I need it for like my cleaning things, which will be great. And as I've mentioned, we will be pushing back that wall quite considerably. Let me flip you over. So if the utility is going to stop there, I'm going to show you the outside. It's nice that it's, oh excuse the mess, I've been sorting out the garage, but yeah, basically this is an old cistern that's still in there, believe it or not. So if anybody's interested in like historical 100-year-old cisterns and toilets, then you're welcome to come to me and we can have a chat. But basically, if that's going to stop there, this is going to continue going, and we're hoping to go up to about here, and it's going to be right there. So as you can see, it's like 2.5 panels extra space. So obviously excuse the washing as well, but the back room is going to be extended, and then we are hoping to actually take this wall down, so there will be no wall here. So although there'll be no wall there, there will be a wall here for the utility room. However, we are keeping this hallway, so we can't make up our mind about this doorway yet. We might block this off, have a glass door going through here, but imagine that this is blocked off now. We do hope to basically take this wall down and have this whole fireplace place, excuse the absolute mess, these 2 rooms. So I'm showing you the ugliest part of my house, and it is embarrassing. However, it is what it is, right? So this whole section is going to be the new living room, dining room space. So the dining table, which I'm hoping, so obviously this one, I very much love my set, to go right at the end there with the bifold doors, open plan with the kitchen that's going to be over there. So that is basically the plan. Hopefully I showed you this okay, but essentially these 2 rooms are going to look very different starting from next year, hopefully. So we're going to start with the groundwork about springtime and then see how we get on. So in terms of how it's been without an oven, it's been very tricky. So one thing I would say, that if you do go and use only like an air fryer, you know, like a multi-purpose one as well, is that you have to have a think about the capacity, and therefore you have to do things in stages as well. So for example, if I am doing like a roast, I will have to cook the chicken for 2 hours first, leave that to the side, then move on to like boiling the potatoes, then air frying the potatoes, then doing the vegetables. So you don't actually have the meal all warm. So you sort of have to put it into the microwave before you actually serve it up, because you have to do it in sections like that. But at the same time, that works for us because I work from home full time. My husband works from home most of the time. You know, he goes in once or twice a week. So basically that's working so far. But I think if we had a bigger family as well, that will get a lot trickier. Although I do think it's manageable probably with 2 kids and 2 adults. But anything more than that, I think you'll be stretching it for sure. We've been very smart though. As I said, we've used like the rice cooker for the rice. We've been using the slow cooker as well. So at the same time that you're doing something in the air fryer, you've got something else is cooking basically in another utensil, another machine. I've even put veggies in the microwave before, like, you know, you frozen peas, stick them in there and then they're done. So that's awesome. But basically what I'm going to do now is share some of my favorite recipes with you guys that I've been collecting over the weeks, and I hope that you enjoy them. First up is shepherd's pie. So first you boil the potatoes, which I do in the air fryer in the option of sauteing, and basically the water boils, you wait for it, you mash it up once it's done, and then you put that aside so that then you can do the next section, which would be to do the veggies, the carrots, you know, the onions. I add garlic and herbs to it as well, and then I also add the minced meat. So you can also substitute the meat for like a corn option as well, and then make it into like a fake shepherd's pie, but if you have like meat-free Mondays. But basically you cook that up and then you wait for that to soften, especially for the veggies and the carrots, and then you put it together in a like oven proof dish, and then you stick it back in the oven, but this time on the bake option. So that's what I did here. Obviously don't forget to add your stock, your tomato puree and Worcestershire sauce. And basically it's absolutely delicious, if I do say so myself. So I do like to follow the recipe instructions and actually bake it on what they say. So here I did 200 temperature and for 20 minutes, but it's less about the cooking and more about crisping it up, especially at the top. So I would just check each like 20 minutes and maybe add 5-10 minutes to it if you didn't think that it was crispy enough. I move on to the salmon rice, which I air fry for about 11 to 13 minutes, and then I add the veggies after the salmon is done. I do the rice cooker, so the risotto rice, separately in my rice cooker machine. I then fry the onions before I add in other veggies and salmon back in. So the peas I actually defrost in the microwave, and then I put it in to cook with the rest of it on the saute option on the air fryer. I then add the rice, mix it all together, and yes, it's a little bit more complex. However, when you get to like that multitasking, it's very much worth it and delicious.